Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist, and we're gonna do something a little different today. Today we're going to do fun facts about me. I thought it would be fun to just tell you some fun facts about me while I put on my makeup. All colors and products I use are going to be listed in the description below, so if you have any questions about what I'm using, that's where it is. All right. Fun fact number 1, I am a military brat. My dad was in the Coast Guard and we moved every 1.5, was the shortest I ever lived anywhere. Longest I've ever lived anywhere up until I was an adult was 3 years. So I never got to start and finish at the same school. I actually have kind of lived as a gypsy up until I met my husband, where I never lived in any place more than 3 years. I always felt the itch to move, probably because I always was moving. Fun fact, I have square feet. My toes have corners. My feet are square. You see those long toes? I have short, square toes. Fun fact, I was born November 24th, 1980 at 2:24 p.m. That means I turned 24 on the 24th of 2004 at 2:24. I was certain turning 24 on the 24th of 2004 at 2:24 that I was going to receive some kind of superpowers. I was going to become a mind reader. Maybe I was going to fly. I was going to get premonitions, read minds, anything. Not one. Fun fact, my first celebrity crush was the one and only Michael Jackson. I was watching Thriller, and in Thriller, of course, spoiler alert, he turns into a zombie. I broke into tears. I cried, I sobbed, I was inconsolable. I was certain when he turned into a zombie, he was actually gone forever, and I would never have the opportunity to marry him. Spoiler alert, I did not marry him, but I did love him for the entire length of the rest of his life. Fun fact, I have 3 children. I have a 6 and a 7-year-old, 2 adorable little girls, and I have a not so small 21-year-old. He's about to be 22. When I was 22, when I was in my 20s, that was the decade of learning. You better make mistakes, otherwise you're never learning. I spent my 30s learning a lot about who I want to be rather than who I was in my 20s. He'll learn that too. Fun fact, my favorite movie growing up, Wizard of Oz, is still probably my favorite movie today. So much that when I got married the first time, I got a piece of fabric and I sponged a yellow brick road for my aisle. I then downloaded the blueprints of the ruby slippers to look like exact replicas of Judy Garland's ruby slippers. No surprise that my marriage only lasted 6 months. I was but a child. I didn't know how much work a marriage actually is. I do now. Those shoes, along with my dress, went into a dumpster. So I am a believer in fate. I believe that my past is fully responsible for my present, and I would not be with my husband had I not been through what I went through in my past. I could not be the person I am today. He would not be the person he is today that make us right without us having our history and our past. So I do believe in fate and everything happening for a reason, that no matter how hard it is, there is a reason. Fun fact, at the beginning of my high school experience, I was heavily bullied. And that is where I learned that hurt people hurt people. I didn't learn that though until my 30s. I just got really angry and became an asshole myself in my 20s. I'm now in recovery. Sometimes. Fun fact, back in the 80s, there was a really popular cartoon that many people know called G.I. Joe. In G.I. Joe, there was a cartoon character. She had shiny, glossy lips, and she typed really fast. I wanted to be the fastest typer. From that point on, anytime there was a typing class, I signed up for typing classes. My favorite game on my computer was Mavis Beacon, still is today. I can type 135 words a minute with 0 errors. I can type over 200 words a minute when I'm working with a program I am familiar with. Be proud of yourself, even if it's something small. Fun fact, I have been a dancer since I was 4 years old and was even in the Nutcracker in New Orleans. I was a soldier. I was never a great dancer, and I attribute me being in the Nutcracker to the fact that every girl trying out was in a black leotard and pink tights. I wore a floral, bright leotard with black tights over the top of my leotard, not under, and I feel I stood out. I didn't live in New Orleans, but my mom drove me to New Orleans for practices and for the shows. They were the smelliest costumes I've ever worn, and the entire experience was magical. Last fun fact, it took my husband 5 years to ask me to marry him. I was shocked. I even dropped profanity. And we've been married for almost 7 years. We've been together for 12. And that's it. And that is my fun facts. I hope you found this entertaining. Have a great day.